We are gathered here for the concluding ceremony of the international graduate programs at the University of Haifa. Professor Gustavo Mesh, Rector of the University of Haifa, Professor Gad Barzilai, Vice Provost and Head of the International School, Professor Lily Orland Barak, Dean of Graduate Studies, Deans of Faculties, Heads of Schools, Departments and Programs, academic and administrative staff members, students and families. This year, we are honored to have many guests of honor from all over the world with us, and I would like to welcome each and every one of them in person. Government officials, Mr. Bobade Bilya of Liberia, Deputy Minister of Planning at the Ministry of Education. From Israel, we have Ms. Hava Kari, Director of the Golda Meir International Training Center, Mashav, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Sarah Wilner, Deputy Director, Golda Meir International Training Center, Mashav, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Dana Shokron, Mashav, Coordinator in Ghana and Liberia. We have members of diplomatic missions. Mr. Kwazi Asante, Minister Counselor, Mr. Joshua Anania, Consular Officer. From Georgia, Ms. Becca Chadze, Envoy Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, Ms. Manana Dumbadze, Counselor for Political Issues. From Kenya, we have Mr. John Chesoni, Chargé d'Affaires and Acting Ambassador. From Myanmar, Mr. Tet Win, Minister Counselor. From Slovenia, Her Excellency, Ms. Barbara Susnik, Ambassador. From Liberia, Advocate Itzhak Wolf, Honorary General Consul. From Tanzania, His Excellency, Mr. Daudi Msima, Ambassador. And Mr. Caspian Nuriel Chirich, Honorary Consul. Dear guests, I'm honored to open the International Graduate Program's concluding ceremony. This year, about 160 students will graduate from the various international master's degree programs of the University of Haifa, and the students who are with us this afternoon will receive certificates of participation in the respective programs on this occasion. For the benefit of those who could not attend, this ceremony is being broadcast live on the Facebook page of the University of Haifa. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Gustavo Mesh, Rector of the University, to deliver his address.
Graduates, faculty members, distinguished guests, good evening. It is very hard to describe how excited and honored I am to celebrate your extraordinary accomplishments. In case you didn't know, we are also marking the University of Haifa 45th year anniversary. Your excellence, ambition, and hard work is the best token we could have hoped for. It is not very often in life that we get to spend an evening with our loved ones celebrating the end of a journey. Capture the moment. In 1985, I arrived to this university as a student, as an international student. At the time, there were no international programs. to get my education. For that reason, in the name of the University of Haifa and mine, let me welcome you to our community of alumni. I would also wish to thank our distinguished guests, the enthusiastic supporters of our international program, who always put their trust in our institution. The University of Haifa became an independent research university in 1972 and is the youngest research-based institution in Israel. The university serves over 18,000 students from the entire country and around the world. The unique combination of a culturally diverse student and faculty body, world-learned academic offerings, and strategic location in the northern part of Israel makes the University of Haifa critical to the future of the State of Israel. As a young university, we put a strong emphasis on multiculturalism, social diversity, innovative and fresh, excellent scientific research. In recent years, the university has expanded the number of international students, inaugurated a research center in Shanghai, together with a leading Chinese university, and is planning to build a new Discovery Tower with the Rambam Medical Center here in Haifa. The University of Haifa leads the National Marine Sciences Consortium with programs in marine biology, marine archaeology, and marine engineering, as well as the new Center for Marine Strategy that will oversee and coordinate many of these interdisciplinary activities. We also lead the LINKS, a national consortium on education in a network society. According to the QS and the global ranking of universities, we have moved in only 3 years 100 places in the world, from the 700 to the 600, out of 10,000 universities worldwide. Our programs in communication, education, sociology, statistics, archaeology, and psychology are among the 200 best in the world. Key to the Israel future is a stable, educated population well-equipped to thrive in the global workforce. The University of Haifa is taking the lead in educating Israel's growing middle class. Nearly 35% of Haifa students are Arab Israeli citizens, most of whom are the first in their families to attend university. The university also educates more Jewish students who are first-generation university attendees than any other Israeli university. Students come from all over Israel, including underprivileged neighborhoods in metropolitan areas and the Haredi community. To fulfill our mission in the country, we are about to merge with 2 excellent colleges in northern Israel in order to expand our fields of research and provide accessibility to world-class education to the population of the north of the country. As alumni and friends of our university, I extend to all of you an invitation to take an active part in the implementation of our 5-year plan that will make the University of Haifa the first multiversity in Israel. For us at the university, every achievement is a new beginning. And also for you, our graduates, every end marks a new beginning. Today might be the last day for some of you as students, but I believe it may that your learning period is actually just starting. Every single individual has an intellectual potential that needs and should be developed. At the University of Haifa, we do every effort to fulfill the human potential of our students and faculty. I urge all of you to keep in mind that there are only few objectives in life that are greater than helping someone fulfill his or her inner abilities. In a world of great technological changes and abundance of information, The job for life model might not longer exist. Instead, we need to focus on lifelong learning. Many occupations will disappear rapidly. Artificial intelligence and robots will replace them. Therefore, we need to support learnability, the desire to grow and adapt our skills in a fast-changing world, support innovation, critical thinking, and negotiation skills. Our challenge, and yours as graduates, is to prepare others for jobs that don't yet exist, using technologies that had not been invented in order to solve problems we cannot even identify at the moment. I see you as ambassadors of this great institution, teaching against ignorance, prejudice, and radicalism, teaching tolerance, education, and self-growth. I would like to conclude with the words of Antonio Machado, a Spanish poet and one of the leading figures of the Spanish literary movement known as the Generation of '98. Wanderer, your footsteps are the road and nothing more. Wanderer, there is no road. The road is made by walking. Walking makes the road, and turning to look behind, you see the path. Wanderer, there is no road, only foam trails on the sea. Make your path and lead the way to your community and your students. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mesh. It is now my pleasure to invite the Vice Provost and Head of the International School, Professor Gad Barzilai, to deliver his address.
Good evening. I know that everybody is very excited, and we are excited as well. So actually, I would like to begin by applauding all the graduate students, and if family members are here, so great having you. As head of an international school, I was bound to ask myself, what does it mean to deal with international studies? And it seems to me that to deal with international studies does mean to offer you, as our students and now graduate students and alumni, to offer you this kind of a convergence of symbiotic relationships between local knowledge and localities and global knowledge, between practices and concepts, between ideology and public policy. And this is hopefully what we have done in the 17 different graduate programs that the international school is offering. Furthermore, hopefully during your stay in Israel, you had the opportunity to study culture and to study the different local constraints, maybe some Hebrew, Arabic, and different local knowledge, and hopefully in due time you would be able to make this kind of connections between globalities and localities, between concepts and practices. Let me thank the team of the international school, without whom we couldn't basically offer you 17 graduate student programs and hundreds of different opportunities to study. So let me thank Tzameret Zohar, the executive manager of the international school, Michal Morgenstern-Laor, the head of the overseas studies, Lilach Berkovich Bareket, who is responsible for our international collaboration and international agreements, and we have, by the way, hundreds of such agreements, And then I would speed Tomer Udi, Rachel Ben Eli, Natalia Prilepko, Sivan Shovali, Chagit Tlu, Tim Alexander, Nina Silver, Avital Karnez, Sival Shovali, Keren Ashimshoni, Michal Gottlieb, Jason Ochman, Orit Geva, Teodora Pankov, Moshe Mitchell, Karen Baxter, Alon Eisman, Dana Itzkovich, Miriam Sivan, Zalman Gordon, Mina Ben Meir, and Sarit Payson. Without such a wonderful team, we couldn't really teach and offer services to about 1,000 international students and about 200 students in our graduate programs. And to you, the graduate, I do hope that the knowledge that you acquired in our international school and in the wonderful 7 faculties which are composing University of Haifa, hopefully such a knowledge would become useful, constructive. Please be our good messengers and welcome to our alumni framework. Thanks very much. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, Professor Barzilai. It is now my pleasure to invite the Dean of Graduate Studies, Professor Lily Orlan Barak, to speak to us.
Thank you, dear Rector, Vice Provost, and Head of the International School, Deans of Faculties, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and distinguished guests in the audience. First of all, let me add my gratitude and thanks to the wonderful team of the Graduate Studies Authority, Sigalit Rajoan, Loren Samar, and Dalia for the wonderful work they've done and for putting all these, for the committed work throughout the years in bringing these studies and curriculum into today's celebration. There's all the difference in the world between having to say something and having something to say. Contended educational philosopher John Dewey, one of the most influential scholars in progressive education and social reform. What Dewey seemed to be implying is that one of the problems of education is that theorizing, i.e. having something to say, is not always necessarily viewed as connected to practicing, i.e. having to say something. Higher education is intelligent practice. Intelligence practice is moral. Moral is aesthetic, and aesthetic is educational. Going full circle and striving to create relevant intersections between theory and practice, emotion and reason, observation and analysis, doing and thinking is what we hope to have contributed in the various programs for which you are graduating today at the University of Haifa in your numerous fields of inquiry. And I must say, numerous fields of inquiry, 17 different programs, is much more than 17 fields of inquiry, and we are proud of the achievement. Clap of hands. The different programs, we hope, have inspired you to theorize and react to the local reality. Here's the global and the local, but also to act to change it. This twofold message transpires throughout our academic and educational vision as Graduate Studies Authority. The advancement of basic and applied research, the education of new generations of scholars, researchers, and culturally responsive and sensitive professionals, the advancement of theoretical knowledge, the enhancement of research-based professional learning and practice, and the development of cutting-edge research and practice in innovative fields. As you look back and reflect on this evolving journey, and here, Gustavo, I'm going to say the words in Spanish because Spanish is my mother tongue. Caminante no hay camino, se hace camino al andar. This is the road that you build as you go. So as you look back and reflect on this evolving journey, I hope that you can take pride in both having something to say and saying something about your domain and field of inquiry, as well as how it can influence education in general, society, and human life. With this view in mind, we encourage you to go out there, and literally out there, and disseminate innovative research and professional knowledge all over the world. And I mean literally all over the world, in a committed effort to reinforce connections and relevant dialogues between research, policy, and practice at local and community levels. In short, as William Tolbert would contend, to make research educational. Today, we're experiencing challenging times ahead of us. New cutting-edge domains are emerging to meet the challenges of the 21st century in a world of mobility, virtuality, and simultaneity. You're now challenged to implement the academic competencies that you have gained in order to embrace those new domains and create others in your context as true agents of change. Yes, times are changing, as the song goes, and quoting Yehuda Amichai, one of our most renowned poets and cultural activists, I would like to add 2 commandments. The 11th commandment, thou shalt not change. And the 12th commandment, change, change. These 2 manifestations of change, the steady and the dynamic, reflect our respect, gratitude, and pride for where you come from, who you are, and who you want to be. I invite you in this celebration to contemplate back and forth with a view towards innovation, change, and development. I'm honored to grant you the formal entrance to a new and more informed journey towards future enhancement of academic excellence, professionalism, leadership, and innovation. As we say in Hebrew, be'atzlacha.
Thanks, Professor Roland Barak. For our first musical interlude, I would like to invite Asael Weissman, vocals and guitar, and Sagi Ossi, vocals and keyboard, to perform the Redemption Song, music and lyrics by Bob Marley.
Yes, they robbed I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minute after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward on this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand beside and look? Yes, some said it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, this song of freedom. emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand beside and look? Yes, some said it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing this song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, this song of freedom, song of freedom, redemption song.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now proceed to the awarding of certificates. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Mesh, Professor Orlan Barak, and Professor Barzilai, who will award the certificates to the graduates. Professor Faisal Azaiza, Dean of the Faculty of Social Welfare and Health Sciences, has apologized for being unable to join us this afternoon due to a prior commitment. I invite Professor Orna Baron-Eppel to award the certificates of the faculty programs. I would also like to invite Dr. Hoda Kibi, head of the Art Therapy program. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Maha Abu Sada. Benit Lazarus. Nicole Malka Rosenthal. Sean Shevach.
בתוכנית הבאה, תבטאו אותם יותר לאט שהם יעלו, כדי שאני אוכל לתת להם אחד אחד.
Thank you, Dr. Akibi. I now invite Professor Manfred Green, head of the Health Systems Policy and Administration Program, the Global Health Leadership Program, and Professor Richard Schuster, co-director, to award the certificates. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Maisa Atamne.
שלפחות הראשון.
Maisa Atamne.
בת כנראה. היא לא בת כנראה.
Rachel Ben Ezra. Linda Beery. Olga Budyansky. Salome Dahan. Isabella Fuhr. Jennifer Megan Gelfand. Tegan Holmes. Ali.
והיית באלכסנדרה
כן.
עכשיו? אוקיי. אלכסנדרה.
On to the next batch, Alexandra Inslee, Diego Joya, Muvuso Kingdom Mufandu, Ariela Tandowski, Davina Feiran, Christina Ronsin, Mayan Rooks, Yasmin Sultani. Thank you, Professors Green, Professor Schuster, and Professor Baron Eppel. We now move over to the humanities. Unfortunately, Professor Gur Alroy, Dean of the Faculty of the Humanities, has just sent us an apology. He's unable to attend. And I would invite Professor Dani Nadel, head of the archaeology program, to award the certificates to the students in his program. Would you please rise and come forward when your names are called out? Cheng Liu. Mason Maxwell Seymour. Thank you, Professor Nadel. I now invite Dr. Moshe Naor to award the certificates in the Israel Studies program. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Stephanie Colley. Han Bing Dong. Zachary Levine. Yaping Zheng.
הופה, יש לי זמן.
Thank you, Dr. Naor. I now invite Professor Aryeh Kochavi, head of the Weiss Livnat Holocaust Studies program, to award the certificate. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Professor Kochavi. Alexa Asher. Igor Bigun. Claudetta Kane. Pamela Fiedler. Hannah Green. Jason Hochman. Anna Kupinska. Eliraz Levy. Yael Margalit. Mallory Needleman. Omri Raz. John Roxborough. Chenda Siang. Meredith Scott. And Rotem Zilberzweig. Thank you, Professor Kochavi. I now invite Dr. Gil Gambash, head of the Maritime Civilizations Department, and Professor Ruth Shachar-Gross, head of the International Program. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called. Nicole Nettie Konstantin and Dimitri Shokvun. Thank you, Professor Gambash and Professor Shachar-Gross. I now invite Dr. Marcus Zilber, head of the Jewish History Department, and Dr. Micha Perry, head of the International Program, to award the certificates in this program. Students in the Jewish History Program, please rise and come forward when your names are called. Wanyan Jeng. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Zilber. Thank you, Dr. Perry. I would now like to invite Professor Eran Vigoda-Gadot, Dean of the Herta and Paul Amir Faculty of Social Sciences, and Professor Avraham Ben-Zvi, Head of the Diplomacy Studies Program. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Gabriel El-Malech. Alexandru Ilie. Svetlana Kamishnikov. Marcel Kwasi Aguille. Colleen Lemon. Yelena Makarov. Jaime Moreira. Megan Golda Ohana. Max Poliski. Danny Reches. And Abir Shehadeh. Professor Ben-Zvi, please remain with us for the awarding of certificates to students in the program for international relations. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Heather Hughes. Shinlong Jia. Thank you, Professor Ben-Zvi. I now invite Professor Gabriel Ben-Dor, Director of the National Security Studies Center, and Dr. Dan Shiftan, Head of the National Security Studies Program, to award the certificates. Students in this program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Soraya Abu-Rukan. Roy Asher Abram. Bosmat Chemo. Alicia Maria Iguaran Gonzalez. Rabia Hino. Umar James. Gregory Kobjar. Ryan Dale Kuka. Kim Margaret Johnson. Zachary Abram Levine. Bianca Alina Matras. Anna Rebecca Marian. Deo Osmund Mwapinga. Priscilla Ruth Nava. Michael Steinholz. Shalom Shabtani. Zachary Honig Shabman. Rachel Shine Ben Eli. Jacob Brian Slobodin. Nadav Steele. Maddox Venditti. Thanks. Thank you, Professor Gabriel Bendo and Dr. Dan Shiftan. Thank you. I now invite Dr. Keren Sharvit, head of the Peace and Conflict Management Studies program, to award the certificates. Students in the Peace and Conflict Management Studies program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Alhan Daoud, David Peter Foras, Julie Gauthier-Bois, Mitchell Grant Hartley, Clemence Lambermont or Clemence, Rula Noussier, Paula or Paula Oliveira, Jessica Postma, Jessica Schmidt, and Neta Sivan. Thank you, Dr. Shavit. I now invite Professor Avi Sagi-Schwartz, head of the Child Development Program, to award the certificates. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Steve Olubisi Aborizade. Susan Okonji Adina. Yuhiko Olavet Amnon. Epines K. Chavanji. Onesmo Itozia. Mayowa Joseph. Shika Kashyap. Boglarka Kormos. Florence B. Koroma. Palina Mailina. Harriet Nakimuli. Den Hai Nguyen Nguyen. Nino Nutzbitze. Emmanuel Nyarko Tete. Dr. K. Zengro. Alyosha Rudas. Veronica T. C. Qatar. Alfonso W. Wright. Thank you, Professor Avi Sagi-Schwartz and Professor Eran Vigoda Gadot. Professor Eddie Barkai, Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, has sent his apologies for being unable to join us this afternoon due to a prior commitment. Professor Lily Orland Barak will award the certificate to the graduate of the Marine Geosciences Program, Yakufu Niazi. Professor Itzhak Samuel, Dean of the Faculty of Management, has apologized for being unable to join us this afternoon due to a prior commitment. I have the pleasure of inviting Professor Shai Tzafrir, Head of the Business Administration Department, and Dr. Mashur Hush, Head of the MBA Program in Sustainability, Global Green, to award this certificate. Students in the program, please rise and come forward when your names are called out. Michael Barak. Michael Barak. Sagi Biton, Devender Singh Danda, Shir Donitz, Sausan Gnardi, Jun Guan, Zachary Levine, Wei Li, Yaun Liu, Shaina Rambold, Sean Tambogiratis, Aida Tuma, Ju Shiwa, Thank you, Professor Tzafrir and Dr. Hush. I now have the pleasure of inviting Professor Eli Salzberger, Director of the Haifa Center for German and European Studies and Head of the Modern German and European Studies Program, to award their very last certificate in this ceremony to Chaim Nativ. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Salzberger, Professor Mesh, Professor Barzilai, and Professor Orlan Barak. I would now invite Asael Weissman and Sagi Ozi to perform the song Somewhere Only We Know. Lyrics and music by Tim Rice-Oxley, Tom Charles, and Richard Hughes.
רגע, שנייה.
I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the air beneath my feet, sat by the river, and it made me complete. Oh, sympathy, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin.
I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? Sympathy, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And if you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything.
So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Oh, sympathy,
Where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And if you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything.
So why don't we go somewhere only we know?
תודה רבה.
Many, many thanks to the wonderful performers. Last but not least, Mr. Jacob Ryan Slobodin, a student in the National Security Program, will speak to us on behalf of the graduates. Jacob.
Mind if I move this? Can I take this off, Sabala? Okay. righty. Speech is right, yeah. Dear Rector, Vice Provost, Dean of Graduate Studies, Dean of Faculties, Heads of Programs, distinguished guests, and fellow students. Manishma. Manishma. Exactly, to which my response has always been, Beseda, or Sababa, that works too. The reason for which is not because I'm having a particularly good day or even because I'm having a good day at all. It's because other than Manishma, Beseda is the only word that I'm comfortable enough to say out loud in Hebrew. Manishma and Beseda are the extent of my Hebrewish. In my year here in Israel, I've been able to get away with knowing such a minute amount of Hebrew because there's always been an Israeli eager to act as a translator. Israelis go out of their way for strangers in a way that is shocking to observe as an American. And I mean shocking. Like literally extending a stranger an invitation to Shabbat dinner or a bed to sleep in if need be. Israelis will bring you into their homes, into their lives without a second thought about it. The kindness and warmth I have received is something I will cherish and remember for the rest of my life. I've never spent a holiday alone and was never permitted to feel lonely. I recognize the power of Israeli society and pluralism during the Haifa fires this past November. I remember the time very clearly. The wind was so strong and the air so dry that I assumed it was a wildfire. I've lived in Southern California for most of my life, and wildfires are not uncommon. So naturally, I brushed it off and went on with my day. I had just recently moved to Haifa, and at this point had quite a few friends, but one in particular kept calling to check on me. His name is Tzuk, and at this point, we had really only just met. Regardless, he immediately offered me his family home, and after doing so, drove 45 minutes back into the fire zone to pick me up from the university dorms. The thing is that Tzuk wasn't the only one. There were thousands of Tzuks behaving in a similar fashion all over Israel during the crisis. All over Israel during the crisis. In the aftermath of the fires, I saw people posting on Facebook, offering their homes, offering clothing or food, or just a warm shower. This is Israeli society. This is Israeli pluralism. My time here at the University of Haifa has been the most memorable of my life. My life has been forever enriched by the wonderful minds that surround me from both my professors and my colleagues. When I look around, I see an array of different faces and stories from all over the world. Hence, there isn't much that we all share in common. The only three things being that we attended the University of Haifa, we have a giant decision to make with regards to our futures, and we are all in battles between what's right and what's easy with regards to those decisions. We will all struggle with the problem of which road to take and why. And after we finally do make a decision, after we finally do get there, there's no way of knowing if we made the right one or not. There's no flashing light that pops on and says ding, ding. It makes a ding, ding noise to inform us that we're going down the correct road, finally. So the actual decision matters less than how we arrived there. The character that guides our decisions is what separates us as people. My grandfathers were my two best friends, and through my years had guided me to ensure that I never strayed too far off course. I lost them both during my last year of college, exactly 11 days apart. I miss them dearly, and I can't help thinking about both of them and all of the lessons that they shared with me. One taught me how to work hard, and the other, he taught me how to laugh, but they both taught me a lot about character and what really matters about being a man and, more importantly, a person. My grandpa Phil related character to mirrors. He would say that character is exactly like a mirror. There will always be cracks and faults in it, but that's okay. Life is about making sure that those cracks and faults don't get any larger. It's about making sure that they don't spread. The point is, don't be afraid of failure. Just as you cannot know peace without war, you cannot know success without failure, so embrace it. Take it head on and allow it to shape your character. Keep growing and be more and be better. Never allow the fear of anything, especially the fear of failure itself, stop you from becoming who and what you were meant to be. Finally, I'd like to take a moment to thank my family who's watching at home live on the live stream. Live on the live stream, I know. That's a biggie right there. Dad, Ben, Sam, and Gigi, you all bring light and hope to the darkest corners of my life. My mom is actually here today. She's the most beautiful woman in the room wearing the white dress over there. Yeah. That's right. Call your mother. She misses you, and she's worried, I promise. Okay? Well, my mom, she's my rock. Without her and her relentless motivation, I would have never found the success and happiness I enjoy today. I love you all. Thank you all for listening, and Mazel Tov. Now we can do the throw thing.
Thank you very much, Jacob. You forgot one word that you do have in Hebrew, sababa. That was absolutely sababa. So thank you, dear guests. In a moment, I would request the audience to stand up for the singing of the national anthem, Tikva. Just a word of order. Following the conclusion of the ceremony, graduates and faculty are requested to hand back the academic gowns at the designated desk on your way out of the auditorium. Guests of the Child Development Program, you're invited to the Sami and Aviva Ofer Observatory on the 30th floor of the Eshkol Tower for a private ceremony and reception. Please rise for the singing of Hatikva.
כל עוד בלבב פנימה נפש יהודי הומיה ולפתי מזרח קדימה עין לציון צופיה עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים